Hi, I just want to say that first of all, I think what you're doing is great, and it's inspiring for myself. And the stories that I've seen on the episodes, I sort of can relate to them in some ways. And I just want to know. I mean, I'm really into hip hop, and I'm finding things out. I wanted to see what artists were that inspired you to like get involved into the culture. And my friends wanted to know that the celebrities that were on the show, are they making a difference after they visited these places? And yeah, so just.
That's a good question. I mean, the hip hop I came up with was like Public Enemy, but EPMD, Big Daddy Kane, even NWA at the time. Like it was those things, but there was a balance in it. Like the thing about hip hop is you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? Like hip hop is very braggadocio. It's very like, yeah, I'm the best. It's if you're an MC, I always ask people, they want to give me a tape or something, like, yo, I'm like, yo, are you good? And if an MC says, oh, I'm okay, I'm like, I don't even want to hear you then. Don't bother giving me your tape. You have to think you're the greatest. When I was rapping, I thought I was the greatest rapper ever. And that's just the way it kind of goes, right? But you can't, but back then there was a balance, and there's not really a balance in hip hop right now, and I hope that's what we're working towards, is to balance some of the other stuff off. I used to be there was a time where if you talked to me 5-6 years ago, I was so angry at my peers for not giving a shit. Like, you have all this power, Jay-Z, you should do this, Puffy, you should do that, and I'm like barking at them from down here, and then I realized, like, what's that gonna do? It's not their responsibility. They don't have the experience that I had. They're not fortunate. They didn't grow up in Canada. They don't come from the background of the family that I come from. They didn't get a chance to go to the places and see the things that I've seen. So I could yell at them, but that's pretty ineffective. What I could do is create something else, make it big enough that I could stand beside them, and let people decide what they want to get engaged with. And then you know what else the coolest part is? Then we start talking. And they'll be like, yo, that show you did, remember I was at the BET Awards, and Ludacris is there, and he's sitting there, and he looks at me, and he's like, yo, you do this show? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh. And he starts talking to me about the show, and he starts talking about his foundation in Atlanta, and blah, blah, blah. And we have this little, like, 10-minute chat. And it was really cool, like, whatever come of it, but I was able to have, he was asking me about international thing, and was able to do that by that hard work. You know what I mean? And to answer, I kind of went off track there, but I don't know if I answered your question. But to answer about the celebrities, yeah, everybody stayed, the people, the leaders you meet, they're so magnetic in their personalities that once you have an experience with them, you can't kind of forget. Different people did different things. Some people donated money, some people donated time, did more press on it, but we didn't really like go hard at the celebs to do anything more than come on the trip. It was really up to them to stay connected or do whatever they were gonna do. But yeah, we saw some great stuff happen. I mean, the Chili Peppers, we got a phone call, after we were in Haiti, and we didn't even know this. The lady called crying, and I was like, oh, well, we broke something. Like, we screwed something up. I was like, oh, I'm going to get out of this. She was like, thank you. I was like, for what? And it turns out, Flea went back to the Chili Peppers after he had his experience there, and he was so moved by it that he gave the organization $100,000 just on the QT. And what I didn't know is that over the course of their, like, 25-year career, those guys have given away tens of millions of dollars. They just have a foundation. That's what they do. So, and I think that for us, the thing with the celebs was we had the celebs involved to bring attention to the leaders, and to really, you might like Cameron and think she's great, but by the end of it, I hope you love Puma, and to really elevate these leaders and their work even above celebrity status. And ultimately, the flip on For Real and why I think it worked is that we didn't show up trying to save the day. I mean, me and Joaquin don't know shit about the Amazon. And I've been there a few times, and I don't know anything. But Tashka knows everything. And he's there today, working. And so how can we support him? How can you support MV Bill? How can you support Kimmy Weeks? How can you support the work in the downtown east side? And it's by showing up, and anything you do by being humble, right? You can't show up and dictate to people and tell them what to do. That's not fair. So even if you're a celebrity, you're not allowed to do that. So that was our rule. When we were like, yo, you were allowed one friend. That was kind of like, whoever you want to bring. So one guest, no entourage, no hair, no makeup. That was our thing. It's like, yo, let's just go on this little journey together. So, and I think the celebs liked it too, because it's not often you get to do something like that. So much is expected. Like, you do that show, you're supposed to show up and be the expert all the time. Like, because you're a celebrity, you're supposed to know everything. It's not, what do you know? It's not, So it was, and I think that by approaching it a little differently, that's why we had some success.
More questions? There's just 2 rows behind you there.
Hi. Anyway, I'm graduating this year, and
Congratulations.
Thank you. But I think in this last year, I've been really thinking about doing a master's and what comes after graduation, and you know, if I want to do more school. And it's something that I've been really considering, and, you know, I've been applying here and there. But I think why I've been doing it the most is because I feel like there's expectation of me. Like, once I'm done, I need to have my shit together. And I don't. And so I feel like if I keep kind of being in school and kind of doing it, like, it kind of will prolong me having to face me not having my shit together. So I just wanted to know, like, do you feel like you have it all together and you know what you're doing and you know what's going on? And
My shit is so raggedy, you have no idea. Sometimes the visual of me and my life that I have, like when I'm just like, is like, life is flying and I'm like one fingernail, like, woohoo, but I'm holding on. I'm like, yo, this is fun. And sometimes I feel like I'm on top of it. You know, sometimes I feel like it's really, I think the thing is that you don't really know when it's on, but you know when it's off. When you're not on the thing that feels comfortable, you know that instinctually you know you're not on the right path, and then you can change that. When you're on it, things are just moving and flowing, and it's cool. But like, you need to be, I think, more hyper aware of when it's off. And the thing is like, you're not supposed to know. I don't think, you know. I think that, but I think that if you can be fortunate enough to have these opportunities that we have in the West, and you know, be able to come and get a great education, then you owe it to yourself beyond anybody else to apply that into something where your heart is. Like, if you need to be passionate about that thing. So, but yeah, I don't know, man. My things change all the time, and it's like, what is it? Said Kano has a song called "Take a Minute," and he said, "Any man that knows a thing knows that he knows not a damn thing at all." You just learn it every day, you know. So that's all you can really do.
So you don't have to get that second doctorate. Other questions?